My name is Richard Paul, and this is how Assemblywoman Taylor Darling has delivered for our community. Peace and blessings, much love and respect. My name is Richard Paul. I am a community organizer as well as a community advocate. I'm also a violence interventionist, a youth mentor, and an advocate for system accountability. Also, I'm a venue owner right here in District 18 in Baldwin. This is my new venue that I have with my partner, Mr. Alex Williams, which is called the Black House. When I think of Assemblywoman Taylor Darling, three things come to my mind: approachability, accessibility, and accountability. From my perspective, as a community member and somebody that's active in the community, I would say that those are three pillars of her service. When I first met Ms. Darling, I was actually advocating for a gentleman from the Freeport community who was having some trouble with his business. He was being harassed, and I know this individual to be an influential member in the community and somebody who was grounded in giving back. So of course, I went to advocate for this individual, and Ms. Darling was also advocating for this individual. That showed me that she and her team have their ears to the ground and they know who's who in the community. Ms. Darling also participated, engaged, and empowered a family member of mine who is known to continuously host events and do work in the community to empower women. Since I have met Ms. Darling, we have been in continuous conversations about doing work in the community with our young people and finding different ways to attract young people, but also provide different opportunities for them. These are just three of a number of different ways in which I've engaged Ms. Darling, and she has continuously showed that she is a servant of the people. I represent a section of our community that may not necessarily always come out and vote, and that is because, to be honest, we've lost hope in a lot of our elected officials because they are not accessible, they are not approachable, and they're not accountable, right? And that's the truth. However, the reason I'm here today is because I see Taylor Darling differently, and I want to be able to support the positive change that she has already been making, and I know that she will continue to make as she moves on in her journey. Yeah, but so my story is very complex because I did grow up in Freeport, and at the time when I grew up, Freeport was very, it's an interesting place, right? Because you see the beautiful houses, but it's a lot of street activity that took place, like a lot of drug activity, a lot of gang activity. And that lifestyle swept me up, right? So that was a major part of my upbringing as a youth, as an adolescent, as a teenager. And unfortunately, I did make some decisions that, I made some bad decisions, right? Along the way, there weren't a number of positive adults or male or female role models that came into our lane, came into our paths. So we were just kind of figuring out life by ourselves. I did have two mentors, and those mentors planted seeds in my mind. So although my lifestyle wasn't the best, I remember the things that they taught me. So I was incarcerated for a number of years also, and it was during that term of incarceration that I made a major transformation, just based off of all of the different people that invested in me, and I invested in my mind. I saw something in me even when I didn't see something in myself. So it's there where I began to make that transformation. I ended up going to college. I earned 2 college degrees. I earned 1 college degree while I was still incarcerated, and as I came home, I earned a bachelor's in psychology and social work. But it was the people that invested in me, right, that gave me the understanding of how important it is to invest in somebody else and how much that really means, right? Like how much it means to have that person that supports you no matter what, or how much it means to have that person that regardless if you made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mistakes, they told you about yourself, they held you accountable, but they still believed in you, they still saw something in you. So it was that, I had that, right? And because I had that, I knew how important it was to be that. And because I was granted another opportunity to be a productive member of society and empower my brothers and my sisters. That's why I do the work that I do. I also realize that we don't have enough people in our community doing that type of work. We don't have enough people in our Freeports, our Roosevelts, our Uniondales, our Hempsteads, going out and talking to our kids and meeting them where they're at. And a part of meeting them where they're at is understanding their circumstances, understanding their environment, understanding what they're going through, and understanding the community from their lens. Because you could tell somebody what to do as much as you want. And even if you're correct, if you don't understand where that person is coming from, if you don't understand how that person is thinking, or if you don't understand the life that person has to live, whether it's in their home or on their block or in their community, and it's hard for you to be able to reach them. And on top of that, it's no street smart, it's no book smarts that's gonna tell you, right? You could go to college, you could get a PhD, that's not gonna give you an understanding of what life is like in our community. It's something that you have to experience, it's something that you have to feel. So for me, all the trials and tribulations that I went to, I see that as a part of my purpose to be able to come back and talk to my people and build with my people and connect with them in a way that can change their mindset and then change all of our actions and behaviors and the way that we interact. This is my community, and it's my duty to do my part for my people. If I'm to be perfectly honest, nobody's coming to save us. If they were, they would have came in the last 10, 20, 30, or 40 years. It is our responsibility to come together as a people and a community to put the work in and be the change that we would like to see. However, it is imperative that we have individuals in local office that's going to be willing to fight for us, that's going to fight for our needs in Albany, that's going to fight for our needs in Washington, D.C., and that's going to fight for the things that we need in Mars, if need be, if that's where the fight is. And I believe that Taylor Darling is that individual, and she has been that individual, and she will continue to be that individual. Thank you.